Shalom, Yasharallah. This is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, the bonds to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. A salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump in on this here topic. You're pretty much already familiar with this, basically this murder that happened over Memorial Day, all right? So as I was riding into work this morning, listening in on the radio, they was talking about this here topic and so on and so forth, And one of the main things that kept sticking out to me that they kept saying was, what can we do about this? What can we do about this, Now, this was the situation with, I believe his name was George, what's his name? Floyd or something like that? Yeah, George Floyd, all right, where, you can see the whole video before they take it down, that basically the cops had their knee on the back of this guy's neck or whatever, whatnot, and pretty much choked him all the way out. You had bystanders around, talking about you're killing him. He's not moving. He's not resisting. They weren't concerned about his health or anything like that. The first responders was there. It was like, yo, check for a pulse. They even treated them like they was Jakes too, But nevertheless, this is nothing new. This is Esau, man. This is Esau's MO. All right. And hey, the Lord is turning up right now and showing more and more, all right, so I want to go down and kind of highlight this other story as well too. There's about 3 stories right now in the news. You had the Ahmad or something like that, the boy that was supposed to be jogging. That situation that happened. And you have this here Karen in the park, who pretty much called the cops on basically a Jake for I'm in danger, trying to play that victim role, and this is the horns of these damn devils for you right now, man. All right, the intent that she was doing was, hey, she was basically trying to murder Jake, man. All right, crying out as a victim or whatever, whatnot, hoping that the police would rush to her aid, to the scene, and just put Jake down like a rabid dog, man. Shoot first, ask questions later, man. All right, but then you have this other situation that's popping off, all right, where basically, Jake has pretty much had enough of it. The point of this here lesson I want to get into, all right, what do about this situation? What can we do? We tried marching, Black Lives Matter, and all these different things that Jake's been trying, But you have to understand that, hey, these are curses that the Most High brought upon us for going off, all right? So let me start here in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm going to start at verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, And, Jake, sometime, they saw his children. They got simple minds. And you'll tell Jake something like this, and they're like, what kind of God would curse his own people, right? They're like, all right, well, you stuck over the word curse, Why don't you replace it with punish? What kind of parent will punish their own child? A loving parent, to get them right, to correct them and things like that. You go off at your job, they're going to wind up punishing you for, whatever you're doing. You keep showing up to work late, leaving early, or sleeping on the job, they're going to wind up punishing you, man. You out here in society and you're doing something that's unlawful, all right, you're going to get punished, all right? So it's the same way that the Most High gave us. He gave us law, statutes, commandments. Thou shalt not do this, you could do that, so on and so forth, just like here in America. Thou shalt not murder nobody or drink and drive and nothing like that, man. Or if not, you going to go to jail, all right? Nobody have a problem with that, but when it comes to the Most High, they seem to not be able to understand this, All right, so let me jump down to, let me see, where do I want to go first? You know what? I'm going to start down here. Oh, man. So I got to jump around. I'm going to jump back up. This is, 64. All people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee a trembling of heart and filling of eyes and sorrow of mind. And again, as I was listening in on the radio station this morning, he was talking about, the main host is a so-called black man or whatever, whatnot. He was talking about how, He was raised with police in his family, and his parents taught him, the typical Jake rundown. We have boys or whatever, how to deal with the police. Yes, sir. No, sir. And whatever, whatnot. Don't move certain type of ways or whatever, whatnot, and so on and so forth, And he was like, his dad was like, well, if you ever get pulled over, just make it to jail safely. That's all you got to do is just make it to jail safely and call us, and we got you. We got resources, lawyers, and so on and so forth, and I'll come get you. I just need you to make it to jail safely. And this was one thing that he so-called stood behind or whatever, whatnot, But then it's starting to click into his mind now that could have been him, even though he has, all these police friends or whatever, whatnot, big in the community and whatever, whatnot. And this is something that Jake stumbles upon, thinking that, oh no, I'm not like those type of black people. This can't happen to me. I don't walk around sagging my pants and having tattoos and so on and so forth. To that rap hip hop music, this ain't gonna happen to me. I moved to the white people neighborhood. This ain't gonna happen to me. None of those things is why these things are happening unto you, man. All right, this goes back to a perpetual hatred between Jacob and Esau. All right, the so-called white man is the Edomites, your so-called evil twin brother, man. All right, but nevertheless, we're under curses, man. And I'm pointing out in this here lesson that the Most High, these are punishments that the Most High brought upon us for breaking His law, statutes, commandments. In fact, let me stop there and go over to the book of this is Micah 7:9. It says, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So it says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. All right. That's just like, a righteous child to a righteous parent, parents telling you, you being, you going off, you're sneaking out the house. You know what I'm saying? You doing drugs and drinking. You didn't crash your parents' car. And your parents got to come get you from the jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, how would you react in that way? If you were a so-called righteous child, knowing you went off, like, what, be pissed, and whenever I ain't even gonna buck up against you, right, yeah, I'm gonna take my punishment or whatever it is, yeah, you know what, you right for doing this and doing that, so on and so forth. Instead of being a rebellious child, like, well, what kind of parent gonna try to take away my video games and my going outside privileges in my phone? I just stole the car and wrecked the car and had a DUI and killed some people, whatever, who cares? Come on, man. Nobody in their right mind would think like that. But when it comes to our people, these are the stumbling blocks that they fall upon, all right? But what? We have to bear the indignation of the Lord because, wow, we went off. We sinned against him. And in Deuteronomy 28, where we were reading it, all right, that was the covenant that we made with the Lord, that if we kept these law, statutes, commandments, he would bless us. But if we didn't, these would be the curses that fell upon us, right? So let me go back down to Deuteronomy 28 and 65. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall thy heart, and failing of eyes, the sorrow of mind. So again, going back onto, listening to this radio station host talking about what else can we do, and these certain type of Jakes thinking that, oh, I'm not that type of so-called black person, not going to happen to me. I moved, my kids go to an all-white school or so on and so forth, man. These are the curses that's put upon us, man. All right, there's really nothing that you can do about these things but serve the Lord, man. All right, because you have to understand that Esau is basically a reaction to your actions. All right, but it's in the spiritual realm. It's not like you did something to Esau and then Esau coming down on you. No, this is the Most High. This is your punishment from the Most High, man. All right. So it says, verse 66, and for thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance of thy life. And so, hey, man, any so-called, really any Jake, but, starting with the so-called black man here in America, man, every last one of y'all know, no matter what type of growing up you had, whether you had both parents in the house, tattooed, sagging pants, what neighborhood you live in, no matter what, man, no matter what kind of car you drive, hell, the better the type of car you drive, the worse off it is, man. All right, you can have a well-paying job, you have a really nice car, live in a really nice neighborhood, because that's just where your education and your job took you or whatever, whatnot. But guess what? The police get behind you, and hell, I done seen a district attorney get pulled over and get harassed, man. All right, just because she was a so-called black woman driving a nice car, man. All right, but what? You're not gonna have no assurance of your life, man, because you can get killed for any reason, man. We seen the dude in the park. This lady basically was trying to get the police to come over there and shoot him for just sitting in the park and asking her to follow and abide by the laws of the park, man. Put your dog on a leash, man. All right, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna call the cops." She called the cops. She was like, "Thank you, please call the cops." She's making a big scene out of this whole thing, man. All right, and at any point in time, the police could have rolled up, like in Tamir Rice's case, just roll up and just let loose and ask questions later, man. All right, This guy had a knee to the back of his neck till he couldn't breathe no more. He wound up suffocating and dying, man. They pretty much choked him out and still left him there laying lifeless with his knee on the back of his neck, several minutes after the fact the homeboy was dead, man. And so just because you have people, the police wouldn't do this to me in broad daylight. The police wouldn't do this to me with all these people around, with all these cameras around in 2020, with all the shit that's going on. No, man, you don't know who you're really dealing with, man. This is the devil, man. And you don't really know what's the whole core of all these things, man. All right, these are the punishments that the Most High is bringing upon you for going off. Man. All right, he programmed Esau, the so-called white man, to be the wicked. And Esau does comfort himself. Let me get that. Genesis 27 and verse 41. Yep, Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau, all right, the so-called white man, hated Native Americans because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right, this is what his purpose, his intent was, man, to kill his brother Jacob. All right. And this has been going on since Isaac, as we read in here, their father Isaac was on his deathbed. So this so-called, it's not because of the color of your skin or anything like that, man. You actually was twin brothers, man. Jacob and Esau was twin brothers, man. They didn't look alike, but they was twin brothers, man. All right, so it's not because they're not doing this to Africans. They're not doing this to the East Indian people or any of those dark-skinned looking people over there like that, as much as they doing it over here to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, it's because of who you are. You're the so-called, you're the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're the Israelites. All right. It says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, was told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, does comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. So this was in Esau's heart, man. All right, to ultimately kill his brother Jacob, and that's what he's been doing since the very beginning of time, all the way up until now, man. All right, and hey, this is how it all ends, because why? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, but woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, for the devil has come down into you having great wrath, because why? He knoweth he hath but a short time. All right, so Esau is at the end of his reign, and he know he has but a short time, and he's about to, this is the last time he's going to be able to fulfill the lust of his belly, man. Going Latinos and Native Americans, man. All right, so he's coming out with no mercy, but also at the same time, we about to get into the time of Jacob's. Well, we at the beginning stages of the times of Jacob's trouble, man, where the devil is really finna come out having a great wrath upon you, man. All right, but ultimately it's the judgment of the Most High for, 2/3 of you wicked ass so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, you've been doing all kind of crazy things in your life and going off in the Lord and been patient with you, showed you love and everything like that. But what? You despise all those things, man. All right, so now this judgment is coming out, man. All right, and even in the sight of all these different people who could have stopped this and so on and so forth, you had no assurance of thy life, man. Let me get back to that. I want to say 66. All right, it says, and thy life shall hang fear day and night, and thou shalt have no assurance of thy life. All right, so hey, man, anytime you see them police cars get behind you or whatever, it'll be your last moments, man. You see them lights turn on, you just like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, whatnot. Hell, you could be passing the cop head on, you know what I'm saying, and you just steadily, you beat and crash your car because you steadily looking in the rearview mirror hoping he don't make no U-turn. All right, knowing good and damn well you ain't got nothing in your car and there's no reason for life, but that's not the situation that we dealing with here, man. All right, in the so-called carnal sense, like, a lot of these, the majority of these jakes in the scenarios where they was killed at, none of them deserve to lose their life in those types of ways, man. None of these people were out there wielding guns and aiming guns and shooting at the police, man. All right, like the in that one Geiger case where homegirl ran up in the wrong apartment and shot Jake. Come on, man. But ultimately, hey, man, this is that judgment that's going forth. But ultimately, at the end all be all, Esau's coming out having great wrath because he has but a short time. All right, but continuing on, verse 67, and in the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even, and that even thou will say, would the Most High was morning, for the fear of thy heart, wherein thou shalt fear, for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see. All right, hey, and in some places, and I can and attest to this, certain places, backwoods, Georgia, and certain real country towns, man, they tell you, man, growing up out there, hey, look, at the dark, don't go over on that side of town, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you still got these old racist Klan members out there, whatever, whatnot, and if you get into some kind of shit out there, man, and you call out, they're not going to come out there, man. They're going to let you, what you was doing out there, man. You know what side of town you should have, or whatnot, man. All right? And in these inner cities, you got these same ass cops that be planting stuff on Jake, beating Jake up, and whatever, whatnot, man. All right. Verse 68, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more, and thou shalt be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. All right. And so, look, going into that question, they kept asking on the radio, what can we do? You have to understand that we were sold into bondage, into slavery, unto our enemies. This is going into the transatlantic slave trade. We was brought over here on cargo slave ships, man. All right, and we were sold. All right, the first commodity on the stock market that we were sold. You know, we were sold on the stock market, man. And here it says, no man shall buy you, not meaning that no man is going to be able to buy you. You know, $5 for that Negro, and nobody want to buy you. No, it means nobody's going to redeem you, man. So the Martin Luther Kings didn't work, the Malcolm X's didn't work, Black Panthers didn't work, the Million Man Marches, all these protests spot, man. All right, and we just looking at American history, man. Like we just read, you can go back from when Isaac was on his deathbed, man. This ain't never stopped, man. All right, but ultimately, you know, the one way we can get up out of this is what? Having faith in the Lord, man, and having to, you know, turning back into the Lord, man. We almost up out of this thing anyway, man. This is why Esau's turning up so much, because we're at the end of the road, man. And you trying to take your carnal path and take up arms against this damn devil, man. That's not the way to go, man. All right, you further going away from the mark, man. You further the Most High have set for you. Now let me go up a little bit to verse, I want to say 47. Verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou beest destroyed, because thou hearkenest not and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So you're wondering why, you know, people are, you know, even these Edomites all bear different color skin or whatever, whatnot, are now even standing up. They're like, damn, this is actually a problem now. You know, all these different things, so on and so forth. But this is a sign that's upon our seed forever, man. This is our curse, man. All right. It says, because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with the joyfulness and with gladness of heart in the abundance of all things, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, and hunger and thirst and nakedness and the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he had destroyed thee. And that's where we at right now, man. We fully destroyed, man. Mentally, physically, and spiritually, man. All right, you know, you got Jake walking around with blonde hair, blue eye, you know, shit like that, trying to look like they damn oppressor. Some of them walking hand in hand with him, thinking not all of them are bad or whatever, whatnot. Or if I just dress like this and talk like that and go to this school and get this job, that these things ain't gonna happen unto me or whatever, whatnot, man. Jake is fully destroyed, man, in all kinds of different religions and doing all kind of abominable things and wondering why all these judgments coming down upon them, man. All right. Verse 49, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. All right. All right, the elderly people, they all getting gunned down, man. You had this one Jake lady that was policed and ran up into the wrong house, served a no-knock warrant to the wrong house in the middle of the night, woke Jake up in the bed, shot the Jake woman in the bed while she was asleep. The boyfriend got up, was startled, and opened fire on the police. He didn't know what the hell was going on. They charged him with basically trying to kill a cop, all because they kicked in the wrong door. All right, and startled Jake. But what? They don't have the right to protect themselves, man. All right, because why? We under these curses and this bondage, man. All right, and what? Like they said on the radio, what can we do? We tried all of our things, except, you know, the one thing they not called for is being so-called violent and things like that. And ultimately, you know, at this point in time, man, Esau still got his blessing, the sword, man. We still in the captivity up under him, man. The Lord say, wait ye upon me till I rise up against the prey, man. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, man. The Lord's going to get that revenge, man. We're going to pay them back double fold, man. They going into slavery up under us, man. We don't really have nothing to worry about. Well, we do have something to worry about. Focusing on the Lord, man. That's where we need to put our trust and our faith at, man. Instead of trying to take up carnal arms or trying to seek out some other formula, maybe if we all pull up our pants or all talk properly, if we all go to Harvard, if we all go get this, you know, six-figure job working for, you know, Wall Street or whatever, maybe we won't get gunned down like this. If every so-called Jake or every Jake would move out of the all white people neighborhoods and all buy BMWs, we won't get shot down no more. None of that shit's gonna work for you, bro. All right? Because you have to understand the basis of this whole situation. It's these curses, man. All right? So we're going to jump around in Psalms real fast. This is Psalms 37 and 14. Swords and have bent their bows to cast down the poor and the needy, to slay such as be of an upright conversation. Jacob versus Esau, the wicked, that's the Edomites, but of the upright conversation, they say Esau was a cunning hunter and Jacob was a plain man. All right, when you go into that word plain man, all right, it was an upright person. All right, he was a righteous man. All right, we're not so-called, we're actual spiritual beings, man. To our core and our nature, we're just, we're compassionate people. We got morals and, all those type of things like that at our core, man. You even see some gangsters and shit like that, hardcore killers that'll, in certain scenarios or whatnot, show some compassion on certain things, man. Like you might see a so-called enemy in the street that did you wrong or whatnot, and then in your mind, you finna go and kill him. But guess what? He with his mama, his grandmama, or his kid, you give him a pass for that day, man. But Esau on the other end, he'll wind up blowing up a whole damn elementary school just to, kill one person in the building, man. It says, verse 15, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. All right. So, hey, man, just having a better name, you know what I'm saying? And this here thing, not having any, being blameless in this here society. You might be at the bottom of the barrel, whatnot, while these Edomites on boats and jet skis and living in big ass houses, driving nice cars or whatnot. Hey, man, you just being humble and being righteous, man, is way better than all his riches, man. They gonna all rust anyway, and he going into captivity, and he gonna throw it all up to you anyway. You about to see the biggest transfer of wealth in the fucking the history of the universe, man. Esau finna give up all the resources on the planet Earth. You can read that in, what is that? Isaiah 60, but also with Psalms 2, and I think verse 8, ask of me and I shall give you the heathen for thy inheritance and the uttermost part of the earth for thy possession. All right, so hey, man, don't worry about these little small gains on this here side, man. It says, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. Yahweh knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. All right, so hey, man, this is just but a little small grievous time that we're going through right now compared to the everlasting life we're about to inherit. It says, thou shalt not be ashamed in the evil time, for in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. You can also read about that, I think, Isaiah 65 and verse 12. All right, going into, because when I call you, you do not answer, so I'm going to number you all to the sword, And these times, as we increasing in Jacob's trouble, Esau is going to be letting loose on you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But you can read in Job 5 how the Lord is going to protect us from all these different things and keep us from all these different things, man. This is how you can combat these different things. Ephesians 6 say that what? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, man. We're fighting a spiritual war, man. So what? You got to take it to Esau in the spirit realm, man. All right, you can't fight him on no carnal playing field, man. You ain't got enough guns. You ain't got enough bullets. You ain't got enough drones, robots. And that ain't your blessing, man. You can't fight him with his blessing, man. You being a land-bearing creature can't go down into the ocean and try to fight a damn shark in the ocean. That's just not going to work out for you, man. That's his domain. But if you bring the shark on the land, you can tear his ass up all damn. He don't walk on land. He can't breathe outside the water. And that's basically you right now. You basically, you trying to go inside the water and fight the shark inside the water, all right, whereas his domain, that's Esau with his sword. All right, you need to pull the shark out the water or get out the carnal realm, the physical realm, and fight him in the spiritual realm. Let the Lord fight your fights for you. All right. Verse 20, but the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahweh shall be as the fat of the lambs. They shall consume into smoke. They shall consume away. Nuclear destruction. Let me just actually go from there to another psalm real fast, for time's sake. This is Psalm 17. I'm gonna start at verse 6, jump around a little bit. It says, I have called upon thee, for thou wilt hear me, O Yahweh, incline thy ear unto me and hear my speech. All right, so going back into how do we fight this here fight, man? All right, what do we do in these scenarios? What do we do to get Esau to stop killing us? Well, you really ain't gonna do shit to get him to stop killing you, but what you can do is you can serve the Most High, all right, in truth and sincerity, man. He'll give you that hedge of protection, all right, from all these different things, prosper, man, all right, whether it be, the sword, famine, all these different things, man. The Lord will protect you in all these different things, man, because ultimately it's the Lord that's directing Esau to bring out this here judgment on 2/3 of you Israelites, man, for your wickedness, all right. So it says, I've called upon thee, For thou will hear me, O Yahweh, incline thy ear unto me and hear my speech. Hey, go and pairing it up to it, Isaiah 65 and 12. Let me just grab that real quick. All right. Isaiah 65 and 12, it says, therefore I will number you to the sword, and you shall often I called, you did not answer, and when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and chose that wherein I delighted not. So this is talking to the Israelites. When the Most High called you, you ignored that. You know, you see the men of the Lord on the highways and the byways, you see the videos, you heard about us, we all over the place, man. But what, you ignored that. So guess when these calamities come, when the Most High called, you didn't want to answer. So now He's gonna send His sword, which is the wicked, which is the Edomites, and you're gonna be, oh God, oh Jesus, somebody pray for me, pray for my son. The Lord ain't gonna hear you, man. He gonna laugh at your calamities when they come to pass, man. All right, because you chose to fight this here. You chose to get in the water with the shark and try to beat the shark in his own game, man. I would laugh at your dumb ass, you know. Psalm 17 and 6 again. I have called upon how incline thy ear unto me and hear my speech. Show thy marvelous work, that Salat. Show thy marvelous loving kindness, that thou mayst savest by thy right hand them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. All right, so you're not putting your trust in no weapons, no, numbers, million man, or whatever, whatnot, and all these different scenarios going on. You're not putting your trust in all those things, man. Maybe if I live in this neighborhood or so, you're not putting your trust in none of those things, man. You're putting your trust in the Lord, man. No matter what kind of car you driving, what neighborhood you living in, no matter if you tatted up or whatever, whatnot, man. Hey, man, the police, they hey, that hedges up around you, man, and they'll just, hey, you see how we deal with the police, man. You see us on the highways and the byways, they come up, sometimes they come up with, trying to enforce certain things or whatever, whatnot, and so on and so forth. But guess what? We always leave, man. We always get to leave on our own will. We're not in handcuffs or nothing like that, or no shit like that goes off. Even when people call the police on us or people threaten to kill us and so on and so forth, and all kind of calamities go down. But guess what? The Lord, has His angels protecting us, man. So we don't have to worry about those different things. And even during the quarantine, the lockdown, and all those things, we were still good, man. We was all straight, man. But guess what? A lot of 2/3 of our people, man, they was going through these things, man. But these things are about to get worse on you. All right. Verse 8, keep me as the apple of thy eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, and from my deadly enemies who compass about me. All right. So this is going back into Esau Edom, who's basically trying to trap up Jake, and ultimately slaughter him, man. This is his MO from the beginning. All right, well, let me just read it all the way down. Verse 10, they are in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proud, slay them and hold themselves not guilty, They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, as a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Because they looking for an opportunity to put their hands on you. They looking for an opportunity to kill Jake, man. They looking for that scenario, man. Just like the dude who was so-called jogging or whatever, whatnot. They was, one dude was riding behind him and filming or whatever, whatnot. They was looking for a reason to kill you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Especially now that Babylon is crumbling on them, on them. And now they want to take it out on somebody, anybody, but who else but Jake, who they always been taking it out on, man. Verse 13, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. All right, and we know the border of wickedness is Esau Edom, which is thy sword, which we can read about in, we can go back to Genesis 27 and verse 39, man. All right, thou shalt live by thy sword. Revelations chapter, Revelation 6 and 8. All right, and it was given him that red horse, and it was given unto him a great sword. All right, but nevertheless, it's talking about Esau, which is the Lord's sword, man, which is basically his so-called punishment stick, man. When we need to be punished, and that's what we read in Deuteronomy, he's going to bring upon us a fierce nation, all right, that's not going to regard the old or the young, man, which is the Lord's sword, man. All right, this is how the Lord push out that left-hand judgment, man, through Esau Edom, man. All right. It says, verse 14, from men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children. They leave the rest of their substance for their babies. Going back into these Edomites got that long money, man, and they just keep passing it down. As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. So what? We gonna wait until the Lord grant us what? That spiritual body, the spiritual power, and He raised us up, man. We're not gonna sit out here and try to take matters in our own hand or anything like that, man. All right. let me go from there to we're gonna close out with this. I'm gonna read the whole thing. Psalms 140. It says, to the chief musician, the Psalm of David. O Yahweh, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in their heart. Continually they are gathered together for war. And this was Esau, which was in his heart. You know, he comforted himself as touching Jacob as far as killing him, man. This is what he wants to do, man. This is what he imagines in his heart day in and day out. How are we going to kill Jacob and get away with it, man? All right. Verse 3, they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Salah. You know, because they trying to get you, stick them teeth in with that venom. Oh, no. All lives matter. It's not just some road cops. He was doing this. He was doing that. He was coming down from a drug binge. He had a gun on him. We thought he had a gun on him. He fit the description of this and that, so on and so forth, man. All right. It says they have sharpened their tongues like a serpent's. Poison is under their lips. Salah. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from who has purpose to overthrow my going. All right. This is what's in Esau's heart, man. This is the foundation of this here racism, man. All right. But ultimately, you have to understand it's a spiritual thing, man, because we went off. The Lord brought up, created this here wicked being, all right, to be our basically our to whoop us back into place, more or less to say, It says, verse 4, keep me, O Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man whose purpose to overthrow my going. Have hid a snare for me, and cords they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Salah. And they always do things like that. You have the right to bear arms, protect yourself. But anytime a so-called black man have one, you got to automatically put him down, man. Or all these different things. Yes sir, no sir, put your hands out the window, whatever. All these things, but these are all snares and traps, man. All right, and we're working on this, we're working on that, so on and so forth, just to appease the people, man. So on and so forth, and they have all these different talking heads or whatever, whatnot. But at the end all be all, man, this is going to continue to go on until Esau's taken out of power, man. Until Yahweh shall take that sword from him. The same person that gave it to him got to take that power away from him, man. Take that dominion away from him, man. The same person that put us into captivity up under these damn heathens are the same ones that's going to open those prison doors and take us up out of here. All right. Verse 6. It says, I said unto Yahweh, thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Yahweh. O power, Yahweh, the strength of my salvation, thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Yahweh, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked devices, lest they should exalt themselves. Salah. Like in the one jogger case or whatever, whatnot, they wind up taking pictures of his dead body and circulating them around, through their text messages and private sites or whatever, whatnot. Even the daughter got caught up into that, man. So what? They over here even going further and further into these wicked ways that they doing. They just pushing it over and over and over the edge, man. All right. So it says, verse 8 again, grant not, O Yahweh, the desires of the wicked, further not his wicked device, lest they should exalt themselves. Salah. As for the head of those, now going back to, I used to make these statements a lot, speaking on these subjects, when you see us on the highways and the byways, he had a signs where Jake is like chained to a tree and they burn the body or whatever, whatnot, which they call a barbecue. That's where they get a picnic and a barbecue from. They pick a nigga and barbecue his ass, right? But nevertheless, when you see those pictures like that, that was the old school postcards and pics and everything like that from way back in the days. Now, they going up to the scene of the crime scene. They already up there before the police, or even the police, they get there before the EMS get there. Departments, man. These are these damn wicked ass people, man. Verse 9, as for the head of those that compass about me, let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again. Let not the evil speaker be established in the earth, the violent man to overthrow him. I know that Yahweh will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. So going back to the beginning of this here lesson, talking about listening to the radio, man, what can we do about this? I don't know what else to do about this. Trust in the Lord, man. Call upon the Lord, man. The only thing you can do, man, because you have to ultimately understand this. The Lord is the one that's sending Esau upon you and allowing Esau to even do all these things to you, man. All right. So if you get right with the Most High, all right, it's just like you got a cup that's spilling over right now, man. You're trying to stop the cup from spilling over. You can't try to put your hand over that cup. You got to go to the source of why the cup is spilling over, man. The cup is sitting under a faucet, and the faucet is running full speed ahead, man. Turn the faucet off, and the cup will stop overflowing, man. And that's what we doing right now. We trying to figure out how to stop the cup from overflowing, stop Esau from getting at us. But we trying to stop that by dealing with the cup itself, man. It ain't the cup. The cup got its boundaries where it can go. Deal with the water sources pouring it into there, which is giving the cup its so-called fill limits. All right. Let me try to find one more. This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. They that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Hey, man, and this is basically what Esau, ultimate MO is going to be at the end all be all, Well, he had this, he had that, or so on and so forth. And whatever case, all the cases is going down like that, They always find a way to make a so-called scapegoat up out of these situations, or whatever, whatnot. But ultimately, like I said, man, the only thing that we can do to combat this is what? Trust in the Lord, man. Let the Lord fight our battles and save us from our enemies, man. All right? This is what we're ultimately going to be delivered from our enemies, man. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation of much love for you, I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.